This is 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. So, a couple of weeks ago, there was this new single-player gameplay for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands that was released. IGN released this almost a week ago. So it was about a week ago that I actually had seen this gameplay, and I decided then and there, oh my, that this game is a bad game. And I kind of want to describe what I think and why this game is going to be a terrible game. And I'm already going to tell you, if you don't want to watch this video, you shouldn't buy this game. This is way too loud. You shouldn't buy this game. If you've already bought this game, get your money back. If you haven't bought this game, good. If you have bought the atrocious collector's edition, get your money back, because it's going to disappoint you. So it was actually really early on that something very important happens in the gameplay trailer, and it's the commander's. I think his name is Nomad. I think that's what this guy's name is. So Nomad is apparently the squad leader, and he can issue commands to his soldiers. And also that there are certain classes in the game that aren't yet revealed, but it's probably going to be something like assault, sniper, a heavy LMG class, etc., etc. But one of the main aspects of the game and of the single player that I thought was going to be very intriguing and very liberating, as this game, I do consider it a military tactical shooter, is these 4 commands that you have. You have fire, hold, go to, regroup. So I thought that this game would be that it would be something similar to SOCOM, in the sense that you have the ability to have this tactical layout with your soldiers, and you are, you're a Navy SEAL or an Army Ranger or some specialist in the military, so you obviously have, a heightened amount of commands that you can issue to your squad. And this is Ubisoft that we're talking about. So that's not the case here. You have 4 basic commands that you give out to your squad that really and truly are the height, the pinnacle, the peak of their gameplay. That's it. That's all they have. 4 commands when it comes to the depth of their military tactical shooter. In SOCOM, it would be those 4 commands would be the base. It would be the bottom tier. And this mission that he's on right now is getting the Bible, or is getting a Bible that's apparently important to the cartel. Why is it in the middle of a church, unguarded, even though that there are some guards outside? But this is like in the middle of a church. A random, scrub could go out and pick up this Bible. But I digress. But there was supposed to be more when it came to the tacticality of this game. There is supposed to be more depth to the game, and there simply put is not. It's so low that it really and truly doesn't matter. The 4 basic commands. Moving on, you have these districts, or you have these areas that you have to liberate throughout the game, and to me, this just looks like a bunch of busy work. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 probably down there areas to liberate, and it looks like, because there's this little hash mark right there that's gone, that doesn't complete the full circle, it looks like this is just the start of the first area, of the first zone that you're in. And that's disappointing, because Ubisoft is notorious for having a bunch of busy work embedded in their games. So for you to go from like this area to this area, or to liberate this area by itself, it's going to take you a very long and arduous challenge. And I hope that it's not like Mafia 3, in the sense that you're just liberating area after area after area after area after area over and over and over again, because the gameplay will be very repetitive. And I don't think Ubisoft has the intelligence, the creativity, the originality, nor the devotion to their fans to create a game that's going to be inherently different on gameplay and story levels, to be able to deliver to the fans a satisfying experience when it comes to the Ghost Recon's Wildlands. That's my opinion. Because one of the main aspects that they have going for them is the foliage, it's the jungles, it's the trees, and like this, the canopy, how the light hits the canopy, for example, how it pierces through the jungle is phenomenal. And they won't use any of it. You will probably spend most of your time driving around the jungle, blitzing past this beautiful shot where it just looks fantastic. And the actual jungle looks fantastic. And they're going to underutilize it completely. They really, really are. It's going to be disappointing. Just look how beautiful this looks. But they don't care. So why should I? They don't care. So the whole point of this mission is they are supposed to extract a certain cartel boss that let you get the Bible that is imperative to the cartel's drug success. Which, why would you put a Bible in a church that's imperative to your whole drug operation is beyond me, but I digress. So he has to extract the lady to be able to undermine the cartel because they want to publicly execute her. So they're like, the leader, the leader of this squad, she tells them, hey, you have to extract her, which is a stupid idea, because you should just let them publicly execute one of their own lieutenants instead of having, to rescue her, but I digress. So how you approach this is pretty simple. It's basically like Far Cry on steroids a little bit. They made the binocular a little bit better, and they also added a drone, which the drone gets hacked because there's a jammer in a drug cartel base that looks like it came out of a third world country, which it probably did. It's like, they can afford like a military grade high class drone jammer, but their houses look like shit. But it's Ubisoft, so you kind of have to turn off your brain for really half of the information that's presented towards you, because if you don't, you'll be stressed. So, and I won't subject you to watching 20-something minutes of their god-awful gameplay, because I can barely stand watching 20 minutes of their god-awful gameplay. So here's the drone jammer. Doesn't this just look really sophisticated and high-tech? And they can't, put in about $1,000 to make a damn fence around their base. I don't know. But I guess you wouldn't be able to penetrate their base as easily. So the drone usage is pretty simple. It's pretty much like the binoculars. And the interesting thing about this game is that not even about this game, but about this segment, is that they show off a lieutenant that you can interrogate to be able to extract information from him, but the information is so little and so useless that it really doesn't matter. Like if I go back, if my computer will let me go back. Okay, so all of this information, not even all of this information, there is this part of the trailer, if I can go back to it, where you have this awesome-tacular customization of this rifle. Like, you're breaking it down from the muzzle to the barrel to the stock, to the magazine, to the trigger, to the scope. There's just a bunch of different parts on the gun that you can customize. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have, an extended magazine, a suppressor. It doesn't matter if you have a longer barrel, so that way you're more accurate. It doesn't matter, because the game plays exactly the same if you have this gun, or a sniper rifle, or an LMG, or an RPG. You can still kill enemies pretty easily. It's just a determination of how you want to do it. Do you want to do it stealthy? Do you want to have, do you want to do it from an extended range? Do you want to do it, with a gun that has a fully automatic, or has better fully automatic capabilities? There's just a lot of ways, or there's different ways that you can kill people, but it's not necessarily like having a sniper rifle really is the difference between killing this guy or not killing this guy. And I really wish that there was bullet drop in this game, because it would make the game a lot more interesting and a lot better. But of course, because of course it makes the game a little bit harder, and it adds a little bit of depth to the combat. But of course, this is Ubisoft that we're talking about. They're gonna scrape by with the bare minimum every single time to try and produce annual releases every single year, because they gotta make that money, man. They gotta get that cash. Cash rules everything around them and them. So now you have this interesting little segment where you have the three options. You have the locate supply raids, locate rebel ops, and then you have the equipment caches. And this is what I really mean by busy work. You have three different options, and they obviously pick the one in blue, to locate weapons. And I'm gonna get on the specific weapon that they pick up, by the way. But you have the ability to extract different information, and it seems like, again, busy work, because when he finally does select getting the weapon caches, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different weapons to get, and all of them are insignificant to how you play the game. These aren't cool high-tech guns. These are guns that you find in a cartel drug base. Right? So, and it's so disappointing to me. And this is what's getting me angry about Ubisoft. Because it's so angry that you're part of the military. You seem to be special ops. Your guns, they are not different from what the cartel uses. They aren't military grade special guns that are and it's just so frustrating to me, because Ubisoft has a unique opportunity every single year to disappoint us. It's just how they disappoint us. They either disappoint us with Assassin's Creed. Like, do you realize that every single year, for like the past 6 to 7 years, they've had unique opportunities to just disappoint us as fans of the industry. It's every single year they have that unique opportunity, and unfortunately, it's not an opportunity that's great. They could turn this game into a great game, but unfortunately, one of the main aspects that they needed to change was to make sure that you have different guns that would be developed for you. Like, imagine if this game was like James Bond, like if you had, or James Bond-esque aspects, like spy aspects, like you're running around the base with, you're stealthy, you're running around the base in a very stealthy manner, right? So why don't you get cool gadgets besides a drone to be able to help you get around the base quicker? Why can't you have a grappling hook? Why can't you, grappling hooks are now, people have grappling hooks. Like, grappling hooks are not, an imaginary thing. You can build a grappling hook, right? Like, why can't you do why isn't there any cool high tech in the game that the soldiers can utilize? Why isn't there, this cool armor? Why don't they have, why don't they have anything cool? He looks like a hobo almost. He looks like a really buff hobo. He looks like Aiden Pierce. What is going on with these, these character designs? So one of the main advertised, and I'm sorry I went off like that, but one of the main aspects of the game is this ability called Sync Shot, and you have this as Nomad. Your Nomad is the squad leader. So Nomad has this ability to be able to call out shots and be able to direct his team to be able to fire on specific targets that he that he deems necessary. It's pretty cool, right? No, it's not. It's the height again of Ubisoft's design of this game. This is all you get. This is it. Sync Shot. That's it. That's the depth of their military tactical shooter. Again, go back 8 years. SOCOM did exactly this, except again, base. They built a foundation on top of this base. This is ordinary, by the way. This isn't something new. This isn't something innovative. This is something that was seen 8 years ago. And it was the base. It wasn't the height, by the way. So he kills, boom, boom, boom. A very non-exaggerated, very by the books means. And by the way, I haven't talked about this yet. It has a cooldown. Why is it that this ability has a cooldown? You can probably upgrade it to make the cooldown shorter, because the cooldown, by the way, if you didn't see it, was 30 seconds. So the cooldown is 30 seconds on one of the most important abilities in a military tactical shooter, and that is you being able to direct your squad's fire. And it's on a 30-second cooldown. No one's going to use this ability unless you upgrade it. And it's such a stupid ability that no one's going to use it. So, and it's just such a disappointment, because it turns into just being a really easy game to play now. I'm not going to subject you to this. I'm not going to subject you to this torture. So we have the main character, by the way, he's telling his squad to hold. He's telling his squad, to move up. He's usually by himself, so that way, because the developer, by the way, makes a fantastic point about his own game and how terrible it is. So what he's saying in the game is that he says that the squad can be seen by enemies, but the squad's AI is so piss poor that they can't distance themselves properly from the enemy's AI. Like, they can't run around the base in a stealthy manner. And you have games already doing that. You've had games like The Last of Us do it almost 4 years ago. And this game can't even do that right. Can't even have, like, the player right now is having to babysit the AI pretty much. And it's just so frustrating to have to see it constantly be done in Ubisoft games. Oh my god. But this is something interesting. Oh yeah, by the way, every single time, look at Nomad right now. Look at the main character and how he tells his group to regroup. He looks like he doesn't want to be here. Just look at him. He looks like he's not even doing the full, like he just looks like he doesn't want to be here. I'm doing the regroup symbol more enthusiastically than Nomad is in the game. They just don't care at all. And it's astonishing that some people think that this is, that this is a company that's known for its quality of game. This is terrible. This is god awful. I can't. Don't buy this game. Don't buy this game. If you're gonna buy a Ubisoft game, buy South Park: The Fractured Butthole. You get South Park: The Stick of Truth for free. You get the original game for free, and you get the second game, for full price. And both games are gonna be great. And by the way, I cannot comment enough on the stupidity of Ubisoft's AI. Why is it that they're standing in a puddle full of oil? And they're letting the truck and it looks like the truck, by the way, is carrying oil, oil containers. Why is it that they're just letting oil leak on the ground? Like, this just shows, if anything, this not only shows the incompetence of the drug cartel, but of Ubisoft. No sane person would stand in a military compound in a puddle of oil. Not even in a military compound, but in a cartel compound. No one is this stupid, by the way. And he upgraded his drone to an explosive drone, by the way. Sorry. He upgraded his drone to an explosive drone, by the way, so that way he can blow stuff up on his level up. So now he's like, all right, hang on. Pause. I have to comment on this. So I'll be quiet for, a couple of seconds and I'll turn this up. So you hear that, like, kind of pinging because there's like a sound overload in the player's ears because obviously the drone exploded and blew up a truck and stuff like that. Why is it that the sound transfers back to the player when the drone was detonated a couple hundred yards away from the player? Like, that's just something small, but just it's just drawing up on. It's just making me really, really feel sick watching this game. It had so much potential, but he's gotta do the regroup thing again. He's gotta signal his team to come up again. And this is the gun model that I was talking about early on. What do you notice here? What do you notice about this? Stoner LMG A1. It's like Ubisoft asked a child, what they thought of what they wanted a gun model to be, and the child told Ubisoft, what, Stoner LMG A1, that's a really good gun model, and Ubisoft is like, we gotta make that. That's a gun model. There was this kid in my high school biology class named Clint, and he used to constantly say, or he used to always end sentences with the word hashtag. Like every single sentence, it would be, YOLO hashtag swagger, or hashtag Mondays, hashtag hump days, hashtag feels bad man. He wouldn't say hashtag feels bad man. That would probably be me. But I mean, it feels like they asked Clint to write this, to write the gun models, to write this. Oh my, look at this bullshit. His AK-47, hers AK-47. I just noticed this. What is up with these gun model names? And it's like they literally now, they like besides some of the names that they put some thought into, they just put in letters and numbers like L85A2, MK48, that's actually a gun model in real life, I think. MP5, I think that's actually a gun model. SR25, I don't think that's a gun model at all. But like these are names for gun models that I feel like they just put letters and numbers and boom, like 2448L. That's a new gun model. Because they can't be bothered to actually be creative with their own gun models, because that would take time and money that they cannot not get. They gotta have that money. They gotta send these games out like Nomad sending out these frags, just swiping it like you swipe a credit card. Good God, man. They gotta get it. And it even says fall back when you're low on health. Oh my God. I do think that's actually really cool that they do actually have that. But it's like, if you're not a gamer, you already know to run away when you're low on health. But and he's talking about how one bullet can kill the player right away on the hardest difficulty. Hang on, let me actually make sure that I know what difficulty this is. I'll turn it down in a second. Okay, so it's on normal, but which it seems like to me it's being played on easy. But for it to be on the highest difficulty, apparently you can only take one bullet. Which again, I feel like if that's the case on the hardest difficulty, you should be able to upgrade your gear so that way you won't look like a fucking hobo in the middle of like. I just don't understand what they're trying to do right now. I really don't. I really don't. Like, you're in the military. You could have some really cool designs with armor, with weapons. Do they want to do that? Hell no. It'll cost money. Doesn't this just look boring to you? It looks boring to me. It looks like it was made in 2011. It looks like this game, and the reason why I say it looks like it's made in 2011 is because the gameplay that you see right now, and the gameplay, the game is going to be based off of gameplay because that's Ubisoft, but it looks so poor, and so I feel like every single thought they've had, they just haven't run with it. I feel like every single original thought they had, they just don't want to do. So, and this just annoys me because it's just like, really, this is what you do? So apparently the car, the advanced plated Humvee, is not only unlocked with a machine gun, not a machine gun, but a minigun on it, but it also has the keys in the car. And guess who you put in the car by herself? By herself. The lady who you're supposed to capture, and she, why wouldn't she just fucking drive off? Because she's not in zip ties, she's not arrested, I don't understand what Ubisoft is trying to do right now. And I've never seen something like this, where the AI, there's a noticeable pause between getting in the car and your AI compatriots and your AI partners literally pause to get in the vehicle and take off. I just don't understand that. It should be smooth. It should be natural. It shouldn't take this fucking long to get into a car. Just seeing this game gets me angry. Just seeing it just annoys me and it gets me angry. Oh my God. I cannot believe that this is the next Ubisoft IP. I cannot believe this is the next Ubisoft game. Luckily we have the South Park, the Fractured Butthole. But boy, I'm not going to subject you to too much of this just atrocity in the making. That is, good God, Ghost Recon's Wildlands. So this is the lady that that is going to be your squad, not the squad leader, but your commanding officer, or essentially the leader of this group. $20. You know what? I'm gonna get. Because I'm not gonna say $20 because I wouldn't know who I'm gonna be paying. By the way, these characters, she just looks like shit. I'm sorry. She just looks like shit. She just looks like shit. The only reason why Nomad doesn't look like shit is because half of his face is covered up. He has a fucking beard, some sunglasses, and a hat. I guarantee you, if he had none of that, he would look like shit too. But I guarantee you, she will get captured. Nomad and whoever the hell this is will be love interests, and Nomad and his squad will have to rescue her because she's the commanding officer, and it's just every single Ubisoft game with a man and a female that are working together. That will be it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. Nomad will have to rescue this person. The only person that looks good in this game is Nomad, and it's like every single time I see Nomad, like he looks like such a faceless character. Like he looks like, I could pull this guy off the street, except he looks really buff. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, it would be really cool if you could create your own character. That may be the case, but boy, that does not look the case. Her face, by the way, surmises everything about this game. It looks half-assed. If you literally cover up her necklaces, her head looks detached. It looks terrible. And what the hell is this? What is this? Is she a nun, or is she just like someone with like an S&M fetish? Why does she have roses in her hair? Why does she look like she was created 30 days ago? Like they literally spent no time at all on this character. Because they didn't. Make no mistake, they did not spend any time with this character. So in conclusion, if you want to hang on. If you want to actually, spend your money on a game, and you want to actually purchase something, get Overwatch. You'll have so much more fun buying Overwatch than you will with damn Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. And if you want a first-person experience, and if you don't want the multiplayer experience, hang on, I got something for your ass now. You get The Witcher 3. I'm bringing some heat now. You get Witcher 3. You get Overwatch. If you have a PS4, I'm gonna bring you some more heat. Hang on. You get Gravity Rush 2. It was just released. It's a fantastic game. I made a video about it. You should get Gravity Rush 2. If you don't have it, buy it. Don't get Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands.